Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Master Division with various wind, giving you my best advice on how to attack this course and the holes that we are playing. Before we have a closer look at all the content, if you do enjoy the free content that I do provide here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those of you that are looking for more free content, you can go to golfclashtommy.com where we have loads more as well. But those players that are looking to step up even more than that, then you can scan the QR code or you use the link patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You can find in the description down below. There you can go to our platform where we do have our premium guides. There we help thousands of players every single season in Golf Clash to have more fun and improve their game at the same time. Checkpoint Challenge, Tour Play, Tournament Play, we have something for everyone, so check it out. Last but not least, if you want to follow along a little bit easier in this playthrough with the shots that I'm taking, then you can use the information in the info box there on the right hand side. Club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Those are just suggestions though, so you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there's always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. So on the drive, I'm gonna start at the top of plus 16, which is the max line for P3 ball. So top of plus 16 is where we start with. We're gonna play with a luminary or with a win 4 power 5 ball, such as the Ryder Couple. I'm gonna talk about that in the end. Yellow ring by the rough line with a poke 8, 10% with the yellow ring inside the rough with a poke 7, and 30% of the yellow ring inside the rough with a poke 5 and 6. Here you can either decide to push or you can pull. The tree there could be in your face if you are unlucky, and that's why I started to pull, then to just double check how it was afterwards there. Pulling just into overpower, so I'm adding teeth of overpower here for this drive. What I would like you to do here is to add overpower based on whatever you adjust into. So if you do adjust 2 rings into overpower, you use 2 rings. If you are playing with an Apocalypse 6, you add whatever you adjust into, and then 1.5 ring extra, and then with Apocalypse level 5, 3 rings extra, and then whatever you adjust into. The reason we are doing more overpower with that is to compensate for the lesser topspin. What we would like to recommend for Apocalypse 5 users, as we're using so much overpower, is the fact that we do want to add just a click of left curl, because the longer we fly, the more we're gonna push to the right, so we need to compensate for that by adding a little bit of left curl. Great right is better than great left here. We're playing on a narrow fairway, and I would say here that Apocalypse 7 and 8 will have single great lefts be no problem, but as the accuracy becomes worse, then obviously Apoc 6s and Apoc 5s will have a problem there. And once again, I do suggest to play with a win 4 power 5 ball to reduce the amount of overpower, especially for those of you that do play with Apocalypse level 5 or level 6. For the second shot, we're gonna play rings from min, and we're gonna do that with a thorn. The reason we're gonna do that with a thorn is to simplify the adjustments. So I'm pushing up the amount of rings to get myself to the fringe or just on the green. It doesn't really matter that much, but as if you're around the fringe line here, that's gonna be perfect. Then add backspin to get the ball guideline to go 1 green square through the hole. And if we're gonna favor any side with our pull, we're gonna favor 1201. And here we're playing rings from min minus 5% power 5 ball settings. I'm using 14 rings. That was the amount of rings that I pushed up. So 14 rings, which is 14% slider, minus 5% elevation, P5 numbers. Bounce on the fringe green right at pin for a beautiful eagle here to start with. If you want to take part of our master guide, the best master guide on the market, or for that matter pro or expert, go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. I must say that I got super excited here because this is the same win that I got my Condor a while back, but I remade the play just slightly to be a little bit more easier to find the landing spot. So we're playing an NMT, max plus 10 p5, and then we're gonna push up rings here. For Apocalypse level 8 per default, we're gonna push up 13 rings. If we do have more crosswind, we're gonna push up a little bit more. Obviously, all of that will be displayed in the guide. Apoc 7, 13 rings, and then Apoc 6 shall also be 13 rings. Apoc 5 should be 13.5 rings. And the reason for that is that we do want to push up a little bit more with Apoc 5 and 6 due to the lesser topspin. Using the Thor ball with max topspin and 2 right spin, the goal is to bounce on the fairway and over to the other fairway just left of that rough patch. And you can see there that I did hit a great left, and a perfect and a great right will be better here. Obviously, there is a risk of with bad drives not get the ball to green, but you know, it's gonna be, I played this shot loads the last time, and I played this shot enough here now to know that it's gonna be more times on green or just before the green, if anything. So we're gonna take a look at the second shot as well, but just to have that said, we're gonna go with inside wall right curl, and it's gonna be a max overpowered shot with a slower needle. Obviously the higher wind is to recommend due to the fact that we do have a slower needle than we do have with lower wind. So here on the approach, you can see me unfortunately underpower my my wedge here. This is a replay glitch, so you can't see that this is the max distance of Endbringer. I played 68% slider plus 25% elevation. However, though, I would recommend to play plus 30 due to the underpower that I'm using on this shot. No spin, and then adjust, center the ball and hit. Perfect. And you're gonna have a very good chance to have this as a very nice backup play, because if it happens that you do get dead bounces of your drive, or it happens that you might misjudge the push-up, then obviously it's gonna be much nice to have this type of Endbringer dialed in to make yourself feel comfortable with a different outcome of the drive. So on Albatross here, but play plus 30. I play plus 25 in the video, but play plus 30 due to the fact that I'm underpower my shot. Hole number 3, we're gonna go for a rough bump, and we're gonna use 3 right spin and 3 back spins. So everything is very simple to set up. Now we're gonna start at the bottom of plus 14. So we're gonna go into the rough and move slowly up to plus 14, having the ball guideline go through the hole. Now we're gonna play max plus 10 power 2 ball settings, and when we are setting this one up here, it is very important to take a look at the wind angle. In this angle here, we're not going to use any type of curl whatsoever. We're just gonna center the ball and then hit. Perfect. Perfect ball, and we bounce nicely into the rough, and then it rolls beautifully to be, unfortunately, just right side of the, not unfortunately, it drops, but a little bit heavy on that pull. Obviously, this is not going to be a gimme, no matter what way you're playing here, but the rough bump here with the wind angle tweaks that we're gonna have in the guide is definitely going to offer you a very good chance of a hole-in-one. Get the guides for Master, Pro, or Expert on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. So on the drive, start at the plus 5 yard mark, but first the spin. 6 top spin, 1 left spin to be more adapted towards Apoc 5 and 6 as well. We don't really need much else, because here it's all about getting a consistent drive down the fairway. White ring by the rough line with Apoc 8, and we are adjusting max plus 10 power 4 ball settings. Even if we go into overpower, we shall not use any overpower for Apoc 6, 7 and 8. If you do play with Apocalypse level 5, we do recommend to use teeth overpower, which is where you have the bottom of the ball just barely covering the bottom teeth. The goal here is to get the ball to be somewhere around 345 to 355 yards. and depending on, you know, if you hit great left, great right, or perfect, you're still gonna be safe because all of those type of plays has been tested. 352, absolutely perfect. Now we are focusing on the B52 or the Grizzly on the second shot. Second shot is going to be difficult. We're going to use the your turn plus yardage, which is +8, as you can see there on the video. So we remember that. One top spin, one right spin. Ball guideline to go one green square through the hole. Very important that you're not too far or too short, because that will all affect the outcome if you do hit perfect. Now you can see in this angle, this is going to be called the headwind angle in the guide, and then we're going to have to add adjustment, or we're going to have to use a curl. So we're going to have the +3 your turn as base, which is going to be 86% slider plus 65% elevation, power 4 ball settings. And here, as we're having headwind angle, I'm going to use 2 clicks of right curl to compensate for that. You can also add 0.1 to the adjustment if you want to compensate with that too. Have in mind that this is king wind, and that's the reason why we're just barely getting that one to drop on the left hand side. But however, this shot has been way more consistent for me than I expected it to be, and unfortunately with such a crappy wind of tee, it's absolutely impossible to go straight down the middle. And then we're going to have to focus on the right hand side, even though it's going to be a lot of rings to pull. One thing extra as well, you're going to do 2 pulls over bullseye with your B52 or with your Grizzly. Take your game to the next level with our Alpine Peaks Ultimate Tournament Hex Guides Expert and Master Division. Tailwinds only is what we're going to have, and obviously we know that it might not be straight tailwinds, but at least beforehand, it's going to be exciting to look forward to some of the holes where we can send it and get ourselves some par 4 hole-in-ones or par 5 hole-in-ones, which is also called a condor. Hole number 2 was the hole that I luckily got myself a condor way back in the day. So I'm super excited about that. So if you do want to join in the fun and ping some balls together with us at Team Tommy, then you sign up at patreon.com/golf-tommy via the link that is in the description down below, or you scan the QR code. There you can find our packages for expert and master, obviously for tour play and for checkpoint challenge if you would so like as well. And you can try for yourself how it is. The important part to have in mind though is that you're not just investing in a guide, you're investing in yourself to become a better player, and also to become a better player whilst you spend less time actually playing, because a guide helps you not having to spend time in practice mode to spend balls, tokens, and obviously then time to improve, because we have already done that work for you. So sign up and try for yourself and see that you will become a better player. Hole number 5, this is gonna be the yellow line, and we're gonna start by using a side spin 3 ball. That's actually very crucial. It doesn't show you here on the video, but I'm actually starting with a side spin 3, P3 wind 5 ball. Bullseye just by the edge of the rough with the ball guideline through the hole. Then I'm switching to use 2 side spin instead, so it's gonna be an offset automatically. But we're starting with the side spin 3 ball to ensure that we're getting the easiest way of setting up our landing spot. Now, in this angle, it's going to be called the yellow angle. We're not going to use any curl whatsoever here. And we're centering the ball and we're hitting perfect after we have centered the ball. This is a 1-to-1 adjustment, so everything is super simple. The only thing that is a little bit complicated is due to the fact that we are going to have like a spin swap or a ball swap depending on how you want to go about it. However though, this is a really good chance for a hole-in-one in my opinion if you read the wind angles correct. A great left, super safe. A single great right has been safe, even though that was very close to the bunker. A double great right, if we would in some way hit that on a par 3 in master, then it's gonna most likely be bunker. Get the guides on patreon.com/golf-tommy. YOLO! Right, the big top ball or the Spirit or the Rue ball. The goal is to have between 16 and 17.5 wind. If I'm gonna choose between having a lower than 16 or higher than 17.5, then I'm gonna choose lower. That's why I have the big top ball here. Yellow ring by the tree. Zoom in and then you will see the tree nicely. And that is with APOC 7 and 8. We're not going to make any difference for those type of clubs. APOC 5 and 6, you go with 20% of the yellow ring inside the tree. Now, for a 16 miles per hour wind, that's our base there. So if having higher wind, we're going to push away. So I mean, we're going to do push a normal way as we do for the wind. If we do have a wind that is lower, as in this instance, then we're gonna pull against us. We're gonna do or like in the wind or whatever we would like to call it. So you can see there on when I did adjust, it's like I had 15.7, then I pulled 0.3 towards myself, not against myself. And the reason I'm pushing is due to the fact, or like the reason I'm having the wind arrow in that direction is due to the fact that the trees would otherwise cover the way we're pulling. Max curl to the left, max overpower, max topspin and topspin boost, and half of our right spin. And then don't forget to scream YOLO. This is obviously somewhat a lottery shot. There will be different type of outcomes, but the good part with the wind angle tweaks and the design that we will have in the guide is that you will always hit the fairway with your first bounce. And then after that, we can't really control what's going to happen. We can be on green, we can be on fairway, we can be in the rough by the green. But the good part with being close to the green there is that the albatross attempt is still going to be super good compared to any other layup on this hole. So on the second shot here, we do have a wedge. We play an EB School plus a 30 power 3 ball settings here. So EB School plus a 30 P3 ball, and here I play with no spin, just as that is the thing that people are the most comfortable with. Obviously a max topspin, a max topspin boost shot will be a possibility as well. It's not however dialed in yet, and therefore I'm only suggesting the regular EB School version. If you do end up into the rough with your shot, like with the rough that is behind the wedge here, the one that we just trickled out from, then you play that one minus a 30% P3 minimum distance cut in half. And that's going to be from the other direction as well. That's going to be minus a 10% elevation, minimum distance cut in half. The reason for the differences is that we can't use all the topspin and the boost from the rough at the back. We can only use that from the first rough, so have that in mind. Again, super good chance for an albatross here, but you have to spend a big top or a Rue ball or a Spirit ball on hole number 6. Get the guide for Master, Pro or Expert on patreon.com/golf/Tommy. Alright, start with whatever power 5 ball you may want to start with. I would suggest the reef ball because we don't want to have any side spin whatsoever, and then the reef does not have any side spin, but it does have the power 5. 5.8 backspin, which is 2 clicks away from 6 bars, and once we have done that, we change to whatever wind 5 ball we want to use. We can play power 0 up to power 5, doesn't matter, you can play with whatever. This is what we will have in the guide as the no curl angle. This is the red line, as we would like to call it. So it's no curl in this angle. We are adjusting 1 to 1 plus 1. So here we play 8.9 reins for 7.9 miles per hour. Center ball hit perfect. And we are going to have very good chance here to drop and hole in one. The reason I'm not playing a rough bump is because I experienced several glitch rolls and I'm not going to take that risk, especially when we do have such a good shot like this one here for you all. Get the guides on patreon.com/golf/Tommy. On the layup option, which is going to be option number 2 in the guide, this is more adapted towards lower level clubs, also adapted to those that do want to take less risk on the drive, and also if you do have, you know, lower level clubs and free to play ambitions, because this drive has been tested with Kingslayer and also with a Wind 5 side spin 4 ball. So side spin 4, all the side spin, 2.2 top spin. I'm playing an NMT with the rock, maximum distance we are staying at. We're using a 1 to 1 plus 1 adjustment, and now 0.9 ball of curl to the right. I'm adding a little bit of OP because we are adjusted into OP. Bounces nicely on the fairway. We have room here to hit a great left. Great right will most likely clip the rough and roll out. We're looking to be somewhere between 340 and 350 yards. So on the second shot of the layup option, we're gonna use the Goliath and do a rough bump. This shot has been tested for a great left. I wanted to have that said because otherwise it may look very risky. But a great left has been safe. A great right has also been safe. Max topspin, half a bar of left spin, a tip of the ball guideline to be 2 green squares through the hole. And even though once again that we're aiming so close to the rough line, it still won't miss the rough if you do hit a single great left. Now we do have the base of our adjustment as 50% slider with a 5% under adjustment, minus 5% P3 with sniper as at +8 on the back fringe check. Obviously everything will be listed in the guide to simplify. Center the ball, hit perfect, and we're gonna have ourselves a good chance for a drop. And it rolls and it comes down lovely, and we get ourselves right at pin for a beautiful eagle here with the Goliath. So on the drive, we're gonna play here with a Spirit or Rube ball, and we're gonna try to send it very close to green. Bullseye by the rough line. We're gonna start at the +13 with Thor's Hammer level 8, at max with Thor's Hammer level 6 and 7. Adjustment is gonna be max +10 P3 numbers, and we're gonna push up to max always. It doesn't matter what wind you're gonna have, you're always gonna push up to max. Here we're actually not going to pay attention to any wind angles because I play this one loads and we do have loads of room on that fairway. And if we would be unlucky to get ourselves into rough or sand, yeah, then it's just that, then we are unlucky. When it comes to playing with wind that is above 18 miles per hour, we do recommend to go with 3.6 bars of topspin boost. This is a little bit too heavy in my opinion. And 1 bar of left spin. When it comes on, that is with Thor's Hammer level 8. When it comes to Thor's Hammer level 8 and 7, sorry. When it comes to Thor's Hammer level 6, we would like to go with 4 bars of topspin boost as per default when it comes to high wind. If we do have a wind that is lower than that, like a mid wind, then we're going to add more topspin boost, and then the same when it comes to playing with a lower wind than that, such as wind 16 to 17 miles per hour. Then we get ourselves to a wedge, and we apply the wedge from various distances to make sure that we do have the correct adjustments. So make sure to check all the wedge videos out. There's 3 of them to get yourself a good backup option if you're not very close to green. So for the other wedge, which is kind of the normal one, when we're closer to green, but it's still not a gimme. So here we're going to play with a 20% elevation P3 numbers EB school instead, because we are just on flat fairway in my opinion, or at least very, very close to it. So ball guideline to hole, not using any spins here. And then we're going to adjust just as normal. Obviously, it's very important that you judge the slider correct and that you're not having a 12-1 like I'm having here in this video, which kind of explains why I am a little bit over adjusted and dropping left side of cup. So make sure to pay attention to those details too, and you will have an easy time making this wedge here on hole number 9, second shot. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Master Division with various wind for this tournament. I'm giving you my best advice on how to crush all the holes. If you do look for more content, you can find more free content on our website golfclashtommy.com, or just browse the YouTube channel a little bit more. But for those of you that are looking to take that little extra step, then you go and search for our premium guides. You can get to the platform by scanning the QR code, or you use the link in the description down below called patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Join the largest guide community on the market for premium guides, and that is us. And we would like to offer you our help to improve your game. So sign up to any of our packages, try for yourself, and see how we will improve and make you have more fun with the game of Golf Clash. Thank you so much once again for watching. I wish you the best of luck in your Golf Clash game.